Hey everyone, welcome back to Bird Talk with Terrence Mathis. I'm William Brandon. Please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel Atlanta Sports Unlimited and turn on those notifications so you don't miss an episode. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. It's the simplest fantasy sports game out there on the market, and you can actually pick the over or under on players like Matt Ryan. Can he get more than 2 or 3 touchdowns? Also, you can sign up at the Google Play or the App Store and use the code ASU and get 100% match up to your first deposit up to $100. Well, the Falcons won again following a loss. If they could just keep these string of wins going, I think they would have been all right this year. But they continue to at least beat the teams that they're supposed to beat.
Well, if we'd have played opponents under 500 all year, we'd probably be undefeated right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's been the mantra all year this season for this Atlanta Falcons team.
Mm-hmm.
This is a game they should have won. It was a tough game. We knew it was going to be a tough game, and know it was Detroit Lions. We knew they was going to play hard. That's what Detroit Lions do. But you won a tough game. You won at home, and it's just too bad you don't control your own destiny from here on out. And that's the sad thing. You had an opportunity to do that with the win the week before in San Fran, and you didn't do it. But now you got to rely. Now, not only you have to win out, but you got to rely on some teams to lose some ball games, and that's not a good feeling to have going and trying to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, I wish they could have beat. Like you said, they've been beating teams that were under 500. And the one they let get away was the Washington football team.
Yes.
If you probably win that game, you're in the driver's seat.
Right.
Trying to go into the playoffs.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. The NFC is fickle right now, just like the AFC. Here's the thing. Right now, it's going to go down to the last week to see who gets those spots.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the Falcons are on the outside looking in, but there's still some hope. And the thing is, you never know what's going to happen. It's funny because who would ever thought that the Houston Texans would win this past weekend and win in a big way? So anything can happen. So Falcons they can't worry about what other people are doing right now. They just got to handle their business. The thing that I liked about this Falcons team is this past weekend and basically all year, especially when it comes to quarterback play.
Yeah.
I told you at the beginning of the year that Matt Ryan, you're not going to see those 300, 400-yard games. You're going to see him throw the ball less, but he's going to be more efficient.
Yeah.
And that's what Matt Ryan has been all year. He's not throwing for 300 yards plus. He's throwing somewhere averaging 250 to 275 yards whatsoever. But his completion percentage is up, and he's efficient when he's able to throw. Now, when he's on his back, of course, he can't throw the football. But did a pretty good job this week of protecting him, and he made some good throws, and some guys stepped up. And again, it's funny how you talk about Kyle Pitts one week, and I go, dang, I wish he plays with a little more fire, a little more energy, a little more speed, a little more sense of urgency. Then he comes out and do that and have a big game.
Yeah.
And this is what he has to understand. In the NFL, you cannot take a game off. Every game you got to play like it's your last, and you got to play fast and play hard every single game. And of course, yes, he's going to break some records, and he's going to go over 1,000 yards. He's going to have over 70 catches and all those things whatsoever. But here, and I'm not knocking Kyle Pitts because it's not his fault. But with all those yards and all those catches, one touchdown.
Who does that remind you of?
One touchdown. That reminds me of the receivers that used to play here. Yeah. Julio Jones. A lot of catches, a lot of yards, but no touchdowns. If you scoring touchdowns, that means we winning football games.
Yeah, definitely.
All these catches and yards, okay, some of it is I hate to say it, some of it is in garbage time where it doesn't matter. But here it is. Gotta score touchdowns. If he scored touchdowns, I would like to see him end the season with at least 7 touchdowns this year. That means he's scoring 3 in 6 in the next 2 games.
Yeah.
And I think that can happen. But at the end of the day, we know the red zone efficiency is really, really bad. The play calling in the red zone is really, really bad. There's no creativity. It seems like they they get scared, they get discombobulated and confused whatsoever when they get in the red zone. Pretty much they lose their minds. So, but this kid is he's the real deal. People, we early on we talked about he's a franchise player. I
Yeah.
say yes, he's important to the franchise, but he's not a franchise mover because and people says, well, he's a pro bowler and he's doing this and he's rookie records and this and that and tight end, blah, blah, blah. Yes, that's good and dandy. But who's throwing the football?
Yeah.
That's your franchise mover right there. The quarterback is the franchise mover. And the thing is, without the quarterback, he cannot catch those balls and have those yards and score touchdowns. So yes, he's important to the franchise, but he doesn't move the franchise forward without a quarterback.
Yeah, it's ironic, that last episode we talked about Kyle and then we talked about the Pro Bowl. The voting hadn't came out at that point, but we did know that AJ wasn't, picked by the fans or either CE or CP, and it looks like they weren't picked by the coaches or the players or any other votes. Put it that way. So AJ Terrell and Cordell Patterson were left off, but yeah, Kyle Pitts made it, and Josh Harris. But yeah, the Kyle Pitts thing, I agree with you. His numbers they're up there, and they surpassed Tony Gonzalez, but they're almost hollow because we don't have anything really to show for it.
Exactly.
So, it seems like it's a great thing, but at the same time, we don't have nothing to show for it.
Right. We're not in the playoff hunt. We're not sitting fourth or fifth, in the playoff race and getting ready for playoffs. And he has 8 or 9 touchdowns. Tony Gonzalez scored touchdowns, baby. I hate to say it. Tony Gonzalez was a touchdown maker. That's who he was. And then I'm glad you talked about the Pro Bowl because if you're on social media, you hear fans talking about why AJ Terrell, why Cordero Patterson is not in the Pro Bowl. And then people try to throw out these analytics about, well, he's his 90% rate this and that. And me as a football player, analytics doesn't mean anything because here it is. If you are one of the best corners in the NFL, you covering the best guy every snap.
Yeah.
You're not just playing on one side. You're going with Devontae Adams wherever he goes. You following Deebo Samuels wherever he goes. You following Antonio Brown wherever he goes. You just don't sit on one side. Because guess what? The best receiver, he knows that guy on this side is pretty good, but he knows the guy on the other side is not. So they put the matchup over there. So now you want to be that guy that's on the island. You want to be a Pro Bowl guy. You got to be a Jalen Ramsey. You got to be a Lattimore that's not afraid to go from guy to guy and cover him the whole game and take your lumps when you get beat. Now that's a true Pro Bowl, future Hall of Fame corner. That's what you do. And then as far as Cordero Patterson, there's nothing on the roster that says all purpose.
Yes.
It's not an all purpose spot on there. So if you're saying he's the best running back in the NFC, so you're telling me he's better than Cook for the Vikings? He's better than Connor for the Cardinals and Alvin Kamara for the Saints? Now you got to think about it, right? He's the best player on our football team, but is he the best running back in the NFC? Now we go to let's look at it at the receiver spot.
Yeah.
So he's better than Kupp for the Rams. What about Devontae Adams for the Packers? What about Jefferson for the Vikings? What about Deebo Samuels for the 49ers? Now, here's the thing. Here's how you measure this. Here's how you measure this. If you had to pick between Dalvin Cook, okay, and Cordell Patterson to be your starting running back, which one would you pick? Don't answer that. I'm just putting it out there. If you had to pick between Devontae Adams as your starting receiver or Cordell Patterson, which one would you pick? If you can say, I'm gonna take Patterson, I give it to you. But guess who I'm taking? I'm taking that guy that's going to carry the ball 25, 30 times a game and get me almost 200 yards a game, or I'm going to get that receiver who's going to get me 8 or 9 catches for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns a game. I'm going to take that guy.
Mm.
So here, and those guys that I've mentioned at running back and that receiver plays their position full time.
Yeah.
So that's why he didn't get voted in. It ain't because he can't play. It's because there's no spot for him. Because first of all, you're not playing all 70 plays in a game. You
Mm.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's probably averaging maybe 30 to 35 plays in a game, and he's playing running back and he's playing receiver. He's playing. So that's why he's not a Pro Bowl. Is he deserving? Yeah, because he's the best player on the Atlanta Falcons football team. Yeah, I can see that. And every time he's on TV, he's exciting. I can see that. But is he one of the best in the NFL out of the top? That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying people might say, "Oh, you hating Terrence," because no, I think he's a great player.
Yeah.
And but you got to be honest with yourself. Does he deserve? Yeah, maybe he does deserve it. But where do we put him? That's all I'm asking is where do we put him?
What about people who say like, well, we maybe Alvin, normally yes, because you mentioned before that sometimes guys are just picked when they
Mm-hmm,
look at the paper like, hey, Alvin Kamara, check, and
mm-hmm,
maybe didn't see what he did this year. He was injured. He didn't.
mm-hmm,
He had like
mm-hmm.
4 touchdowns. He didn't do as much. Could you put
Yeah,
him there? I mean, of course,
you
Falcon
probably
fans are going
could.
to say that because it's Alvin Kamara, so we would like
Yeah,
to see him.
but you can really put him there.
Mhm.
But here's the thing: players are looking at this ballot and they got to define what is he? Is he
Yes.
truly a running back or is he a wide receiver? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I
So
agree. I think that's
he's
probably what.
he, if he probably was declared as just a running back,
Yeah,
maybe so. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
Maybe there's a toss up there. Maybe there's a toss up between Kamara and him. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And even if he was declared just a receiver, there might be a toss up between him and Debo Samuels.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But he hasn't been declared what he is. So that's why it was confusing when it's time to vote for him as a Pro Bowl player.
And that's a good point because now, that may be something the NFL needs to look at adding an all-purpose player because not just for
Mm-hmm.
Cordero Patterson, obviously,
Yeah.
but guys in the past, like even a Taysom Hill.
Right.
You could say he's quarterback, but he does
Right.
more than just quarterback.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. And maybe that's it. You take out the well, you got a spot for a special teamer, but maybe you just add another
yeah,
roster spot. It ain't gonna hurt anything. It won't
exactly.
hurt anything at all to add another roster spot on the AFC, NFC as an all-purpose guy. And I think you should do that. I mean, it's not gonna hurt the game at
Mm.
all. They playing flag football anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Sean Taylor's not around, so
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
laying people out.
yeah.
As we spoke about before, the Falcons have a tough road still ahead. They have to travel to Buffalo this week. They have only played them 12 games in their existence, and the Falcons do lead that series 7-5. Last time they played in Buffalo, they won 34-31. That was 2013 when Mike Smith was coaching the Atlanta Falcons.
Hmm.
And I know you've played up there quite a few times as even a Jet, and we spoke before about cold weather games. What gets you prepared? What do you have to do to get yourself ready? But I know I'm not. I know it's an NFL game. You shouldn't have anything to get yourself ready. But as far as the elements of the weather, playing there in January.
You can't. I'm sorry, you can't. Even though you say I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, you just can't because you're not used to that kind of weather. You're
Hmm.
not used to that cold and the temperature and the snow that's up there right now. Oh my goodness. This is the worst time to play in Buffalo. Oh, that wind coming off that lake. Oh my God. It's gonna be bone chilling. And the thing was you try to psych your mind out. And what I did is I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go out here and play. I'm gonna put on my usual gear. I'm not gonna wear any sleeves whatsoever. And I'm just gonna go out here and I'm not gonna wear any tights. I'm just gonna do my normal routine and go out here and get ready. And then warm-ups hit. And I think I'm gonna go back in and put on some tights and some sleeves. Oh my goodness. But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Mhm.
Even though the other team is just as cold,
Yeah.
they're used to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's their element.
Yeah.
So the quicker you get over it, the better you're gonna play. So if you're sitting there worrying about the cold, your hands, they hurt, the ball's gonna hurt. When I get hit, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna play terrible. You just go out there and play football, man, and just whatever happens, happens. Because at the end of the day, you know when it's over with, you can say, I can endure this
Yeah.
for a couple of hours to get a win. That's what your mentality has to be. Can't worry about how cold it is. I'm going to endure this because it's not going to last long. It's
Mhm.
only a couple of hours or so. And I'm going to endure this weather whatsoever, but I'm going to do my job, get this win, and get off this field, get in a hot shower, get on the plane, come home with the win. That's the mentality you have to have. You can't worry about the cold.
Do you tweak your offensive game plan? Do you try to make it more a ground game? Do-
No, you know what? You got to do what you do.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, I'll always say, I don't care what the weather condition is. You just got to do what you do, because if you do something outside of what you always do, it fails because you haven't done it enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you haven't done it enough, you can't be successful in it. Just keep doing what you're doing, and then whatever works, stay with it, um, until they stop it, and then you go on to the next thing. But if you go in there and say, "Well, we're going to keep the ball on the ground. We're not going to try to throw it in this wind and in this wetness and this cold air whatsoever,"
Yeah.
that's a rest. That's taking away half of your game plan. So that's like you playing at a 50% clip if you're going to do that. And we know we're not that good at an 80 or 90% clip. So if we play at a 50% clip, it could be disastrous. So you just got to go in there and play, because they're going to throw the ball, run the ball, they're going to do what they do and dare you to stop them.
Yeah, hopefully the Falcons. I mean, with the cold weather, and they have been able prior to this cold weather game. They've been creating turnovers, game after game, and even they ended this one. Foye Aluakon got that interception.
Yeah.
I was nervous wreck again, per usual. Shouldn't have came down to that, but
Yeah.
they did get interception. So I'm hoping here in Buffalo, with it cold, maybe even snow, that they can create some turnovers, because you know the Falcons' red zone hasn't been good, and the Bills' red zone is pretty good. When they get up there, you got to worry about Josh Allen. You got to worry about the running back. They have multiple ways to pound it in on us. I will say this past week, though, that fourth and inches in the red zone where they ended up running to Cordero Patterson,
Mm-hmm.
that was a little bit of creativity that he showed that we were able to
Right.
score.
Right. Here's the thing, and it's going to be a tough task for the Atlanta Falcons defense because of what you mentioned with Josh Allen
Mhm.
being a runner and a thrower at the same time. Because at the end of the day, this guy can beat you with his arm and his legs.
Yeah.
So if you're not staying in your pass lanes, in your rush lanes, if anybody get out their rush lanes and we're playing man to man and your back is to him,
Mhm.
he's going to take off. That's
Mhm.
15, 18, 20-yard play right there. And he does that on a continuous basis, especially on third down. So you got to make sure he's in the pocket and make him stay in the pocket and force, honestly, force him to throw the ball in that weather. Force him to throw it in that weather, and hopefully we get some turnovers, and create some turnovers. I thought defensively we played pretty good last week. We gave up some big plays. What is it?
Saint
Thomas,
Brown, yeah.
St. Brown
Mhm.
Island. He, that's the thing right there, dude. That's that, and with Beasley being out for Buffalo, now you don't have that type of guy in the slot doing that thing. So
Mhm.
that's one weapon off the field. But they have a good tight end, and you got Stephon Diggs. So the thing is, we just you gotta. Here's the thing. I say right now, if you don't give up big plays and just give up field goals, we have a chance to win. Because if
Yeah.
we got to match field goal to field goal, we win. And
Mhm.
if we happen to score some points in the red zone whatsoever, we have opportunity to win. but we can't give up big chunk plays. We can't give up plays, demoralizing plays.
Yeah.
You know, here it is, it could be 3rd and 3, and we give up a 50-yard play or something like that. Or here it is, third and goal, and we give up a touchdown, to a wide open guy. Those are plays when people start walking to the sidelines like this. And we can't give up that. Make them earn everything. If then we have a chance.
Yeah, you said that it made me think of that fake punt yesterday. We had them or Sunday. They had them at 4th down, and they hit a fake punt on the Falcons or
Right.
threw it for completion.
Right.
And those are killers. So yeah, you've got
Yes.
to nip that in the bud. For those that want to know that are at home, the Falcons, not only do they have to beat Buffalo, they're also going to need Philly to lose or tie with Washington. And also, you're going to need the Houston Texans to either win or tie against San Fran. Both of those tasks are going to be tough as well, aside from the Falcons winning. I mean, Jimmy G's not playing for San Fran,
Right.
but they got in Trey
Right.
Lance coming. So,
Right.
some
It
people
could
think-
happen. It could happen.
So-
Anything can happen. But here's the thing, though: the Falcons have to win,
They have to win.
and then it may come down to that last game with the Saints.
Mhm.
And if you watch the Saints play on Monday night, if Simeon is not back or Taysom Hill is not back, we have a chance. We have a chance. We know they can't do anything offensively, but again, that defense is just tremendous.
Yeah.
And they just put so much pressure on quarterbacks. But at the end of the day, we always play the Saints well. So, you can't go in saying, well, if we get one out of the two and everybody else loses, we got a chance. No, you got to win two.
Yeah.
No, don't talk about no, win two. You got to win two.
Got to win too.
Yeah.
What you got for us in the show?
You know what? I don't have much today. Here, I guess the biggest thing I have today is this: is that, if you, I understand that you worry and people worry about themselves and care about themselves when it comes to vaccinations and getting your shots whatsoever, and you worry about what it may do to your body whatsoever, and those things. And I understand it, and I respect your decision not to get vaccinated. But when you do not get vaccinated and you do get COVID, you put all your loved ones in harm's way, from the little babies to the elderly. And the thing is, even if you don't put them in harm's way and you get ill and deathly ill, it still hurts the little ones to the elders because they're seeing you go through that. I never want to see my wife, my children, my sisters, or any of my family members go through that, because that would hurt me more than me getting COVID myself. So you have a choice. You have a choice. If your choice is not to get vaccinated, don't get vaccinated. But you got to you got to make a decision where you're going to go, who you're going to be around, and who you're going to affect, because it would be a shame if a toddler that's in your care or around you get COVID from you and happen to be detrimental.
Yeah.
Detrimental. So if you're not gonna get your shot, just stay away from people as much as you can. And if you do have your shot, still be careful where you go and what you do. At the end of the day, God has it in his hands. So whatever you believe in and however you believe it, have faith in it and trust it. And that's it.
All right, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in. Please make sure you subscribe to Atlanta Sports Unlimited and also sign up for Prize Picks. Hope everyone has a great day. Bye, everybody.